Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry about the lateness and the scheduling and all that, but hopefully you were able to find us. We're all set to go. I didn't make a new intro, so we're going to go with the old one. Let's go. Man, oh man.
What up? What up? We got Willie Survive in the house. What
Willie,
up, homie? You know
God
that.
bless you, Willie. Hope the girls didn't take you for too much at the club last night. Good to see you, man. Oh,
Bama
man.
is in the house.
Bama
Sorry for the
representing.
delay, everyone. It was my fault. It was definitely my fault.
Oh,
I told Lorenzo I could do it on a Friday night, forgetting that January 6th, Insurrection Day, is also my wife's birthday. So we had to push this one back once I realized my mistake. So that's on me. Sorry, Lorenzo. Sorry,
Oh,
Dad.
it worked out great because I needed, as you can see, I forgot to make the freaking event until like 2 seconds ago, and I was working literally all night. I just had breakfast. You know, it's just like I'm in full vampire mode right now. I worked straight through the night.
And
You know,
And
it's
there's the lucky lady now. What's up, Janet? Good to see you.
so man,
Married to a vampire. Hope that works out for you.
yeah, God help her. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
we got fancy graphics here. So, what are we doing tonight? Well, before we get into what we're doing tonight, we haven't mentioned it in a while, so I figured I'd mention it. Check out Alternative City Shop down below. Get you some of that Lorenzo gear down there. We got a sale going on. We got some shirts. We got some buttons. We have some stickers. We got some opportunity for you to get some dope stuff on the cheap. So definitely go down there when you get a chance. Click that link and check out his shop. And you also have a chance to buy some of his own created comic book content, which really, if you're a Lorenzo fan, is a must have. You got to get in there and get that stuff. So definitely check that link out. And usually I would transition into comic book community wars, but that's over now. We did not win, but well, I mean, not we. Lorenzo did not win,
the royal we.
but uh, but he got nominated, and that was pretty awesome. I was happy
Hey,
for him.
it's all love. You know, I'm glad to be mentioned in the same breath as those folks. But hey,
It
thanks for
was
mentioning the
dope.
shop. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I see Trev out there. He found a link. Thank you, my brother,
How
for,
about
for
them
showing up.
Chiefs? How about them Chiefs, buddy? I didn't.
They
I
played
lost
today.
money on the game though. Yeah, we crushed the Raiders. I thought the Raiders were going to score two, and so I bet the over and lost that.
Hmm.
But our defense, like they looked wonderful today. I don't understand why we look so good. I mean, I'll take it going into the playoffs, but here we
Oh,
go, man. It's on to the playoffs. It's about to get real.
oh God. Oh God. Yeah, I guess Willie had a night last night. I hope so. Good for you.
Indie reviews at the strip club night, baby. Where was my invite? You know I love
Oh
me a
my
strip club.
God.
I love I love the way strippers smell. I don't know what strippers do or what they put on, but man,
Oh God.
I just love it. I just love it. Man, it's like a moth to
Uh,
a flame for me.
we're a
What do you
friend to
want,
all.
baby?
We're a friend to all strippers. We're a friend to everybody.
You want this?
Uh,
You want everything in my money? You want all my money? Here you go, baby. You smell so good. What's up, Real Rude? How you doing?
what's up, dude? Man, glad to
Good to
have you.
see
Oh,
you. We
man, oh man.
live on
Smoke
a
weed every
Saturday
day.
night.
Yes.
Sorry, Janet. Sorry, Janet. I can't help myself. You know I love the ladies, man.
Yes. And you love Dick,
Can't help
apparently.
myself.
Yes. So we know all about that good stuff. Yeah.
I do love Dick. I do. We should mention that I do love Dick. I am a big
Yes.
fan of Dick. I don't think we mentioned that yet. So I love the ladies, and I also love Dick very much. So
Oh.
those are things that I both love equally. Thank you for mentioning it. What are we doing tonight? What are we here for here?
Well, we're here to talk about the top 10 comics. Well, Willie like to go 25. Dude, I wish I could go 25. I could make a 25 too because so many hard cuts were made. And the top 10 of just 2022. And I'm talking on my end, I know you're going to do like your top 10 of the books you liked, and they're going to be some indie and some mainstream, and some probably ongoing
Yep.
series too, right? Because they didn't all debut in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Correct. Correct.
all of mine debut in 2022, and I have a runners-up list that you can see the Man of Black, Fire and the Blood is on the runners-up list of 144 books that came out in 2022. And let me tell you, it took a cool minute to go through all those books every Wednesday of every week of 2022. But I found all of them, and everyone in here is everyone in here is a good book. I read every single one of these books, all 145 of these books, and then some. I read some of the series. I read some I didn't like, and I also, of course, not counting the top 10, which I clearly read those also. So
How much have we read in the last 24 hours?
not a damn book because I was working hard
Okay.
to get all this production going on. But let's get started with this. These runners up. Let's get them out of the way real quick. All right.
Hmm.
Man of Black, Fire in the Blood. That's one of them there. I'm just gonna go through them real quick. There's Hell is a Squared Circle from Aftershock.
I enjoyed that one. Yeah, I did like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I mean, even Cowboy Bebop, I like that. It was based on the famous animated anime and also the TV show of the same name. Broken Eye from Scout. This was something that about this guy that was able to see things with his broken eye, so to speak. Rain. This is one that you liked here. This was who
Yeah,
was it?
yeah.
Joe Hill. Joe Hill did this one.
With Joe Hill was the original writer. It was being adapted into a comic book by David Boer.
David M. Boer. Yes, he was doing some stuff we like right now. The Tiny Onion did this Razor Blades release for folks on his Substack. Vanish #1 from Donny Cates. That didn't make it, but a worthy book nonetheless.
I did
This
like
book,
that book. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I like the first one sort of, but a lot of people love it, and so I'm willing to. I mean, I bought #2 and #3. I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet, so I couldn't give that a fair shake. And I think Apache Delivery Service maybe #2 came out like in February of 2022. So it's technically a 2021, but it's still a good series from that era. Samurai Doggies 2022. Of course, Ice Cream Man continued this great run in 2022. Behold Behemoth. Briar. Oh my God, that's Boom Studios is killing it. Happy Hill. Nook, about the girl in World War II. Junkyard Joe from the Geiger universe.
Love me some
Dark,
Geiger.
who doesn't? Dark Beach from Behemoth, back when it was still Behemoth. Brother to All Men from Zach Thompson. Shoe Cult, which you know how much I love this. It didn't make the top 10, so you know. Hard Cuts. Cloaked was technically issue 1 was like I think December of 21, but it was mostly in 2022. Excellent 4-issue series from Dark Horse.
That
Dark
was cool. I
Red.
liked it. Kind of. You see the ending coming, but you see it late. It was
You
nice.
could kind of see it, but the character development and man, it was such a dead on like parody of Batman. Not parody, but like you know what I'm saying, like a kind of an offshoot of that. You know. Santos Sisters, man, from Floating World Comics. Love me some Santos
Made
Sisters.
the list.
Made
Okay.
the runners up list. Scorched, The Scorched. Uh, Good book. Couldn't put it on the top 10. Swamp Dogs from Scout. Jay Warren's always producing these classic pulp, and this is the exception I'm making. This I'm calling this the Nice House on the Lake exception I'm making for this one. Even though it's a mainstream book, Jim Rugg just indied the shit out of this Hulk thing. If you get a chance, catch these books. They're everywhere. People ordered a lot of them. If you didn't get Hulk Grand Design, please get both issues of that. Do yourself a favor. The Lonesome Hunters. I know you like this one a lot too. Did not make my list.
I do. I
Lovesick.
Yes, that was
Loves.
a good little surprise book.
Yeah, yeah. Lovesick. Another take on the Red Room. Another runner-up. Cancelled. David Byrne. This is about the clown that did some crazy shit on the air. The Atonement Bell just came out, but it deserves to be on the list, on the runners-up list. From Aftershock, hopefully we'll be okay after the realignment as we live. The Palladians, Creep Show, Hatomi. Hatomi has been a good series so far from the House of Ideas. Basilisk, even though it's from 2021, it wrapped up really nicely with this issue number 10. It'll probably be back.
Counts as an ongoing.
It does. It does.
Wraps up with 12, actually. Wraps up with 12.
Is it gonna be a 12 too? Oh, okay. Well, isn't it kind of like it was done?
Already,
so
yeah, there's already 12. Yeah, it's already done with 12.
Really? All right, I missed that. What is this? Crash Pad from Gary Planter. It's totally underground. Pulp Bikes from Kyle Higgins. Not Kyle Higgins. Pat Higgins.
What's up, Fabric? Fabric's going in and drawing lines already in the sand. All right, let's go. I like it.
That's what it's for. Nightclub, the 199 special from Mark Miller. New Burn, Flawed with the psychiatrist who's a vigilante. Shock Shop, one of the many horror anthologies. A good one from Cullen Bunn, who's done a lot of stuff. Some good, some not so good, but this one was pretty on point. Playthings. Black Caravan, man, this is a thing I haven't had a chance to finish yet, but that first issue was pretty interesting. The Colossus, this one shot, the Clay People, about a golem. And of course, I couldn't let my guy Monkey Meat, Junie Ba, my guy Junie Ba who did Monkey Meat, I had to give him a shout out. You know, it wasn't one of the best series. You know, I love the guy and I love his work. Heavy Metal Drummer had some good moments.
Trev shoots back. Book of the year, he says. They're already scrapping in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear from y'all because I know there are no wrong answers. There are no wrong answers.
That's what I was saying.
Here. Yeah.
Fabric drew a line in the set and said, God, I hope you don't put Powerbomb near the top like everybody else. And Trev responds, Book of the Year, Fabric. I like it. Let's go.
One of you is going to be pissed off. That's all I can say. Pink Lemonade worth a mention. So cute, but hey, you know, it's one of those things that are my guilty pleasures. Bloodstained Teeth, another tough cut, man. Did not get in the top 10, but it was, man,
that's
some
an
probably pushed
book,
it out.
Yeah.
Yes, very interesting about the vampire and like being rogue and turning people against the whole vampire code. The Pentagram of Horror that's a beautiful exercise in dark art by this creator here, whose name slips my mind at the moment, but from Scouts. Black Caravan, Matt Kent's Mind Management bootleg. This was like the second series of Mind Management. Hell to Pay, man. Hell is real, and they explain why. Bunny Mask is ongoing, but the Hollow Inside was the second arc, and it actually was better. Don't you think so? Or did you start to understand it a little bit more once it got to this?
You know what? I've got it. That was on my list to read for tonight, and I did not get to it. But I do need to catch up on the Hollow.
I know how hard it is.
One of my 2023 goals actually is to. I have this habit of reading 5 to 6 issues at a time. When you do that, it's nice because you get the whole story. But then a lot of times you forget that you needed to read it, and so, you know, it gets to 5 to 6 to 10 issues that you need to read. And so my goal in 2023 is to have more up-to-date understanding of stories and read them more as I get them rather than letting them stack.
Man, I wish you luck in that endeavor. Good luck in that endeavor, my son.
But I do love Bunny Mask, though.
Yes. New Think. This is kind of an anthology of horror using tech, which is a unique idea. I liked it a lot. In His Own Image. This is another, I think, tech horror book. The New Masters. Turns out Earth was colonized now by aliens, not just people from Earth. Kaya. This is like an anthropomorphic kind of a world where people kind of like human, semi-animal, but really a good story from Wes Craig. Radio Spaceman was only 2 issues, but man, it was fun. It was written by Mike Mignola, drawn by Greg Hinken. The Approach, and somebody mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, how it's kind of like Die Hard meets Predator or something like that. I think, but it's a good ongoing series that just started this early this year. Wins second round, the Throne in the Sky. Quite good. I haven't read the final issue of that yet, so I can't really say, but I know Tynion just nailed it. The Image Anthology series, which is ongoing and premiered this year. Don't miss out on this, folks. I'm still looking for number 7. Number 7 is out there, and only one I'm missing. Specs, about the kids that found glasses that changed their lives. This is from Boom Studios. Plush just came out. It's following in the footsteps of Vinyl, which is another excellent series by the same team. Florida Man, had to give it an honorable mention because I didn't expect much, but I did get a few laugh out loud moments from this. So, yeah. Respect, Florida Man. Lead City turned on to, he was made aware, I was made aware of this by our good friend. You know it. Lead City is pretty damn good. So, man, that was one of my favorites of the year also. Kaiju Score, Steal from the Gods, the second arc of that, also from the aforementioned Aftershock comics. Count Crowley, Amateur Midnight Monster Hunter. Say no more. It's just another good horror anthology. Minor Threats from Patton Oswalt. I think this number 4 is a little bit late coming out, unless it. I don't think it ended with number 3, but I haven't read number 3 yet. But this has been very good so far about some down and out D-list villains. And of course, She Bites. Man, She Bites. I wanted She Bites to be on there so bad. You know I love me some She Bites, but about the kitty vampire. But hey, there's only that.
Yes,
they're back. Oh, vicious. Wow. Oh, well, I knew there was gonna be a crash.
Okay, let's do this then.
Let's get a long streak. Okay, all right. Where were we? Back to Above Snakes. We're halfway home, folks. Please bear with me. The best is yet to come. Primos. This was a 4-issue series, which I was mispronouncing for a very long time, but a very, very good series written by a Latinx creative team. Calculated Man. Man, this was a tough cut. This has been optioned already, and it's a really good series. After School, that first issue with the dog smoking was just like that right there earns a vote for the list. Legacy of Violence, haven't read number 3 yet, but it's got off to a good start. Masquerade from Kevin Smith. I think Kevin Smith might be back with this one. Let's give him a chance. And another nice House on the Lake exception is to Sandman Nightmare Country, because it's just so damn good it must be an indie. So let's just call it that. Nature's Labyrinth. And it's James Tynion too, so yeah. But this is an ongoing series about this maze of criminals going through this maze to fight each other to the death. Dogs of London. This was about some gangs in London. I only read the first issue, but I remember I really liked it, but I never read any more about it, so there you go. Frank Miller started his own universe. The Millerverse was started with this ash can, which is just $1, and some folks pay like $50 or more for it, so...
Thank you for finding one for me.
Hey, you're welcome, son. Thank God. In Portland, they were pretty plentiful. The books were okay. Miller did not draw anything; he's just publishing it. But it was okay. It was pretty good. The Killer Affairs of the State, ongoing series, pretty good. Know Your Station, did a review of this one about a space station full of rich folks, where one of them is a psychopathic murderer. Imagine that. Twig. Scotty just keeps coming out with greatness. Have you finished Twig yet?
No, I have not.
Me either.
It's right
Me either. But the first couple was so good.
List right here to read.
Yeah. But the first couple was so good, I had to include it. Rogue Sun from the Radiant Universe. Death Dealer, which is really I bought pretty much for the covers, and they were pretty much like barbaric, to be honest. But it has some kick-ass covers. Vanity. Willie, I know I wanted to put this one in the top 10 too, but this is about Elizabeth Bathory, the evil blood drinking queen. But definitely check this out, folks, if you get a chance. Ironhead, I'm going to do a
Willie's
review.
appreciating. He's appreciating the scout love.
Oh man, me and you, Willie, me and you. Ironhead, I'm doing a review about this because I was so surprised about this book. I'll go into it more later. It's just about the art is kick ass in here, and it's just a book of violent war. So if you like that kind of thing, check that out. There's something wrong with Patrick Todd. This kid was able to get other people to do crimes for him, bring him the loot, and then they go to jail. And what a setup. Uh, damn them all. Say no more. My favorite name of the year. This woman is sending demons back to hell.
Who would I send to jail?
Yeah, right. The list is very long. Supermassive, also from the Radiant Universe. Traveling to Mars, even though it was kind of boring, it was good writing there, but it's probably a good setup because it'll probably make a good graphic novel. A Vicious Circle, haven't had a chance to read it yet. Heard really good things about it. I just got it from mycomicshop.com, so I couldn't do a fair assessment. And this is just for S&Gs here. Ninjets. I was just so surprised that Dynamite, known for their TNA books, actually made a pretty decent story and some original characters. Shits and giggles.
Shout out to Truth and Faith. What's S&G?
Shits and giggles.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you.
It's one of those, as Janet calls them, my antiquated old terms. Life Zero,
Yeah.
also from Ablaze. Kind of like a dad joke. Hexware, got a review for this one in the can. Haven't come out with it yet. This is just number one, just came out. Red Room, Trigger Warnings, the second arc, which actually was, I think, a little bit, it wrapped up kind of some stories in the first arc, but it's still ongoing. Cult of Icarus, also a thing from Willie. Thank you for turning me on to this. Hard Eyes, about this strange little girl who's walking around the apocalypse. Sins of the Black Flamingo. One of the first, I would say one of the first, but it's an openly gay detective, and he's based in Miami, and I'm gonna get this trade when it came out because the first issue was pretty dope. Nobody's Girls. Third issue when this comes out in a week or two. This is a great story about a lonely teacher and weird things happening. Sarah Lone, also from Great Sumerian, about this woman who's in burlesque. Barbaric, this is one you might know about. Second arc of that story was pretty good.
Was that Harvest Blades? Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
We Live, where we did that one. Mindset, this is about the folks who did the app to do mind control on folks, and strange stuff happens. The Tiger's Tongue, this is from Mad Cave. I like this, but not quite enough to make it. It deserves some mention because the story was pretty good and the art was all right. So yeah, The Closet, man, go ahead and berate The Closet, folks. But it was a decent story, but it could have been just one big one shot rather than be like three issues. It dragged a lot, but hey, Tynion, as we know, does great things. Three Keys, just great artwork in here, folks. Treese, the Free Comic Book Day. Fall Into the Darkness, yes, I know it's in the dollar bin. Don't care. 10,000 Black Feathers. Slumber actually. I remember liking Slumber, but one of those things that just fell through the cracks because there's, as I said, hundreds of books coming out all the time. Town Called Terror from the House of Ideas also. The Boogeyman from Ablaze.
That's as noisy as an empty wagon, folks.
Oh God, Miss Janet, she's ratting me out. Thanks a lot. Rad Wraith was pretty good. It was pretty damn good actually. The Geiger one shot I think had maybe a first appearance in there, and definitely has some good stories in there from the Geiger verse. Daisy, I don't know if I mentioned this in last year's thing, but Daisy deserves some shine. This is about this 8 foot tall angel, and check it out. Saga of a Doomed Universe. Man, I just heard so many great things about this. I just had to put it in there. I bought the first issue of it just a few days ago. And Chroma from Lorenzo De Felici, who was the artist on Oblivion Song. This is just a beautiful book, front to back, and lovely story. Blink, about this girl who's having flashbacks from some place she was either kidnapped or from some past life. Really good. Sacrament just wrapped up. Haven't had a chance to finish it yet, but man, it was good so far, about exorcism in space. Bolero, not what you think it's going to be from the beginning of the book, but it turns out to be something completely different. That's all I can do to tease that one. And Terry Moore continues to draw beautiful, deadly women in Parker Girls, so check that out too. Postmasters, about the postal service in the apocalypse. Guess what? Still nothing stops the U.S. mail. Neither rain, nor sleet, nor apocalypse. Dark Spaces Wildfire. Man, this was going to be in the top 10. I just haven't had a chance to finish the series. I got all 5 of them, but I'm behind on that too. Only a Teenage Wasteland. Just came out. Off to a good start. The Vineyard. This is redemption for the author of Black Cotton. I hated Black Cotton so much, but The Vineyard came out. It was beautifully illustrated, and the story did not suck. So there is hope. Sham Comics, the ongoing parody. It's like taking comics from the public domain and adding new dialogue. The Illusion Witch. I forget what it was about. Anyway, it was good. Old Dog. This was from Declan Shalvey. This was about this old dude that fell asleep or something happened to him. He got suspended, and he woke up, and it was like many years later. Very good book. Land of the Living Gods. This is about this albino girl in Africa. Public Domain by Chip, who was doing this at the same time as he was doing Batman and Daredevil. This was a candidate also for a really good for the top 10, I should say. It's a really good series. And Sweetie Candy Vigilante, another just nod to Dynamite for making something that didn't suck. Yeah, I don't know which one of y'all said it, but yeah, Do a Powerbomb did not make my top 10, but it did make the honorable mention list because I did love the first issue, but it just fell off my radar, and there's that. So
it was Fabric, by the way.
Oh, sorry, Fabric. Love Everlasting, man, oh man. Tom King can write, but he can get long-winded, but he's got my attention with this weird series. The Roadie. Oh, this guy's trying to save his daughter. He was a roadie for years, and he was keeping the devil out of rock and roll, but the devil has come back to rock and roll, and he's back in action. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. Just reviewed this a few weeks ago about this apocalyptic duo here that are really an odd couple. Spectral, man, this is an overlooked book that's beautiful. It's like I think it's maybe like a $7-8 book, but if you could find it anywhere, pick it up. You won't be disappointed.
It was one of the magazine books. Yep. It was nice looking though.
Yes, it's a prestige format size. 20th Century Men, I'm also behind on, but damn, it is good. Phantasmagoria.
Hey, what up, Chip? Chip in the house. Shout out to Chip. Good to see you, homie. White Shadow. Man? From the hizzy.
Phantasmagoria from Dark Caravan. The Fourth Man from Upshot, AWA Upshot, about these murdering used car dealers. Good story. Absolution, about this woman who's about to work for this evil organization, she doesn't want to. Golden Rage, about old ladies fighting it out to the death. The secret history of the war on weed speaks for itself. Quad, man, this is a surprising book too. You can find this book. It has a weird turn at the end. It's an ongoing series, also from Behemoth, now Sumerian. Survival Street, Sesame Street Puppets, Gone Wild, and finally Rogues Gallery, which has been optioned and is going to be a property. I think starring Don Cheadle, if I'm not mistaken. So, woo, mercy.
Really?
I
okay.
need So that's 140 some books right there.
We didn't get it. We didn't get a penultimate warning. We were due a
We did.
penultimate
Oh, we
warning.
didn't. I didn't want to make her work on the weekend. You know, she worked so hard during the week.
True,
And here she is
truth
busy.
and faith.
Here she is busting me out talking about my empty wagon comments and everything.
Truth and faith gives a vote for Spectro. Hey, what's up,
Oh,
Naman?
hey, there's Naman. Yeah. Truth and Faith. Spectro. Great one shot. Loved it. So now the main
That
event.
was a hellacious
Oh my
list right
God,
there.
that killed half an hour right there almost. All right, so now, if you're still awake, let me give you a number 10, sir.
I don't even want to do it anymore. Whatever. Let's
Oh,
just do
come
this.
on. Come on.
Okay. The number 10 on my list. I'm going to try and put this in order 10 to number 1 like you did.
Yes.
And we're going to go with, oh man, on big screen. I don't know about all that.
Oh, I got to take a break,
Noctera.
bro.
Noctera. We're
Noctera.
going with Noctera. I'm behind on this. I do need to catch up, but I do love Scott Snyder as a writer. I do enjoy his stuff, and I enjoy this world that he's set up. And I know a lot of folks get annoyed with this sort of idea of wokeness and women being heroes in these books, but I tend to find, I don't know, maybe it's because I was raised by a woman, a single mom,
Mm-hmm.
and and through that I've kind of really always identified, and women drive me crazy because I how do I put it, I did this thing when I worked at Farmers Insurance. We did this thing where we did communication thing, and there were different colors for different people, and I was a clear green, which is to say someone who's logical and scientific, which is not to say I'm those things. It's just more about what is right, what is logical, what is 2 + 2. Let's focus on that. Whereas a lot of times women will test more as blues, which are they communicate more on emotional streams. So because of that, I clash with women. But other than that, I've always really identified with women. And I
Where'd you
guess
learn
maybe
this
that's why
college talk, sir? And that them fancy pants university you went to?
so, so I've always identified with women. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm loving these women heroes. But I really enjoy Val. I really enjoy watching her kick some butt and cheering for her in this world where they call it the big PM. The sun shuts off and it's just darkness at all time. And the longer the darkness happens, they start to realize that living things that stay outside in the dark, they begin to mutate into creatures of the night, into these weird little creatures, based off what they used to be. And these little creatures can turn into things, and then they can mate with each other and become different kinds of creatures that were mated. So they're like, it's a really creepy world that's been built up where you have to stay in the light at all times to keep yourself safe. And I really enjoy this one. I think it's already been optioned by Netflix, so it's definitely coming to a Netflix screen. I'm excited to see who they put in as Val. Hopefully, they're a dope person who kicks some butt, because I look forward to it. So, coming in at number 10, I'm going with Scott Snyder and Noctera, my homie Val, kicking some ass after the big PM. Boom, number 10.
Good choice, sir.
What do you?
I can't argue with
What
that.
say you?
I agree 100%. Noctera is a great series. It is an ongoing, but it didn't qualify for my list because it's premiered in 2021. But my top 10, I should say. But it is an excellent series. Like Scott, I got some Scott Snyder in my list too. So yeah, I mean I'm a little behind on it, but I'm going to catch up on it. Yeah, I saw Trev said I only read number one. He was about ready to MF me and just storm off, man. Like, I'm sorry, I only read number one, but I knew it was good, but it just got, it got caught in the undertow of all the books that come out every week, man. I know it's good. I love Daniel Warren Johnson's work. I know I'll probably be sorry after I finish the series. Like, damn, I should have finished this before I made my list. But hey, water under the bridge, too late now. So, all right. So let's get started.
Give it to us. What is
Here's
the big one?
here's my number 10.
10?
My number 10.
Oh, wow. Wait, with my,
They
I
are the
didn't get it.
last children on Earth, who also happen to be vampires. For longer than they can remember, these child vampires have lived a life of eternal wonder amongst the ruins of humanity. But shocking events fracture the group and set them on a path of discovery that will shatter their innocence forever.
Yeah, man. Little Monsters.
You
I
didn't tell
got.
me we were doing fancy videos. I mean, come on, man. Now you got to upstage me here.
Hey, when you're doing a host channel, you gotta go the extra mile. I made them sit through that whole thing with that long list, and God bless those who stuck around. I'll put some notes in the once the video post where everything begins. But Little Monsters, I gotta say this is a pretty Jeff Lemire writes kids pretty well, and he writes them very well, and even as monsters here. This planet full of vampire kids is just sad and just interesting. And it's an ongoing series so far. We'll see how it turns out, but we'll see. And it had to make the list because of that. So this is the number 10 book, and I turn it back to you, sir.
I also really like Jeff Lemire. I also really like Little Monsters. I'll give you a little preview. It made my list. Higher than number 10. So
Oh, ooh, that's a
we'll
teaser right
see
there
that
for you.
one.
What's up, Damien? Good to see you, my friend.
All right. All right. I need you to stall for me while I find
So here's a
where
subject.
I put it.
I
All
have
right.
my,
I found it. Okay.
all right, there we go.
So I'm coming in at number 9 for me.
Number
It was
9.
mentioned already. You mentioned it already, but I'm going to talk it again. You showed the Harvest
Right, that's the
Blades where
one
we got
shot.
introduced.
Uh
We got introduced to a new character, which I really enjoyed. I forget her name, but she was dope
huh. Me
with the
too.
double daggers. And then we also had the Axe to Grind, which was a little
Ah.
three issue run,
Mm-hmm.
and it ends with some major ramifications for Owen, our
Really?
hero,
Oh,
and
I
his
gotta read that.
friend Soren. So yeah, major implications for the axe, and I really enjoy this book. It got me on to Michael Morrissey, who became one of my favorite writers because of this book. It has a wit to it, a humor to it that I really enjoy, a crass kind of vulgar
Oh my
humor
God.
to it. So if you're not into that, you probably wouldn't like it. But I'm definitely into that. I'm a crass and vulgar human being, and I really enjoy the dialogue between Owen and the axe. I really enjoy the humor of it, and so I'm a big fan of it. I've been enjoying this one, and for that reason, I'm throwing it in at number 9, and looking forward to more. What's up, Damien? Good to see you, brother. I didn't see you
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great call there. Love me some barbaric as
No,
well.
I know it made your honorable mention. Yes.
It did. It did. It was also a borderline call, but the second arc did start in 2022, so it was eligible for it. So, yeah, good call, sir. All right, here's my number 9. Without further ado,
Return to Wonderland in this twisted sequel by superstar artist and writer Dan Panosian. Alice first visited Wonderland as a child. Now as an adult, it's her only escape from a cold, strange reality she finds herself living in. But in order to return to her fantasy world, she needs something stronger than mushrooms to change her size, and is forced to commit crimes to feed her growing addiction.
yep, Alice Ever After. Here's the, I think, 1 in 10 Virgin variant by J. Scott Campbell, one of my favorite cover guys. Alice, I tell you, I look at my top 10, and so many of them are either horror or people who are having a hard time. What does that say about me? So I guess this take on the Alice in Wonderland, post Wonderland. She's got this drug addiction. She's got these talking cats that narrate the story. it just hit me in a way where I thought that this is both kind of like Stray Dogs was, both dark and also light in some ways. They kind of lighten up the darkness by adding this little levity to it. So I think Alice Ever After is worth being in the top 10 for that reason, because Boom is continuing this with Briar, which did I give Briar? I think I did give Briar an honorable mention. So yeah, it's just first issue. I think first couple issues are out now, but
I did not realize Briar was a continuation of that. I didn't realize.
oh no, it's not. It's not. They're continuing the whole fairy tale thing. Because Alice
I
in
see.
Wonderland
Okay.
and Sleeping Beauty, it's all public domain stuff. That's like easy pickings. Let's just take
Gotcha.
this, and run with it and make our own thing about it. It's that's stuff that's out there for anybody to grab.
And that's
So-
a nice 1 in 10, right? Or what is
I
that
believe it
cover?
is I believe it's a 1 in 10, or it's a limited edition cover. I was lucky enough to get a couple of these off the shelf at a Danger Room. I guess I don't know, maybe they didn't know what they were worth, or maybe people just weren't up on Alice. But man, love it, love this series, man. So that's
It's a good choice. I like that
my
one
number
as well.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that cover. I like that cover.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Number 8. We're going to choose my number 1 Marvel book. If you paid attention to me at all in 2022, you will know that Marvel was largely shed.
Oh,
in
I'm gonna get you a
the-
copy, Willie. It's gonna be in the care package. I'll get you a copy, Alice. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Take care of Willie. We got to take care of Willie.
Oh
man.
yeah.
But I follow a lot of Marvel books. I bought a ton of books in 2021. Just excited to be back and excited to just get a feel for what I liked and what I was into. And during the course of this discovery in 2021, I found that really Marvel books weren't just not as high quality, and that even though I'd always considered myself to be a Marvel person, I had now become more of a DC. I just felt like DC had better writers, better books, just overall. And so in 2022, I shed a bunch of Marvel books that I was following, but one book that I did not shed, I will not shed, especially as long as Jed McKay is writing it, is going to be Moon Knight from the old Marvel there.
Ooh, that
I've
dark
really
cover.
I've been enjoying this book. I've been enjoying the character. He's been really interesting to me. I'm not someone who's been following Moon Knight for a long time. I collected in the 90s, but Moon Knight was just not a book that I wasn't in the quarter bin, so Moon Knight wasn't a book that I was collecting. But I really enjoy the character. A lot of people hated on the Moon Knight show on Disney Plus, but I really thought it was cool. I enjoyed the lore of it and getting to know more about this character. But the book is the comic book series, I'd say, was better than the show. I've been enjoying it. He's been going through some trials and tribulations, making some friends here and there, making some enemies, doing what he does. He's got a new home now, which is a pretty dope home base that he's got going for himself. There's been some West Coast Avengers love being shown there, with Tigra coming back and mentioning their time as West Coast Avengers. And as a West Coast Avengers guy, I really dug that stuff. So, and I've been enjoying the art. There's been different artists that have done it, but I've enjoyed all of them, and looking forward to more. So, that is, what is that? Number 8 for me.
Number 8. Yeah. All right.
Top Marvel book.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the show too, Naman. It was a little ambitious. I think for some folks it was kind of weird, all the switching back and forth in the characters and stuff like that. But you can stay with it. I mean, I need to watch it again probably. I liked it. But I think the comic series is more traditional. So, yeah, it's a good ongoing Marvel series.
I think the Disney Plus show, the people who really hated it watched it week to week, and it definitely was not a week to week thing. I watched it all together because that's usually how I watch those things, and I think it flows much better that way.
Yeah. All right, so here's my number 8, y'all. Oh, get out of here.
Lulu has a very unique profession. She gets paid by the bruise. When she is witness to the execution of one of her regular clients, she escapes into the night with a briefcase filled with diamonds and a pack of killers on her trail. Navigating the dark underbelly of decaying early 90s Atlantic City, one step ahead of her pursuers, Lulu must call upon every one of her street-born instincts and underworld connections in what will be the longest and possibly last night of her life.
Yep. Hit me. 911 is a joke. I always think of that whenever I say the name of this book. And I wasn't going to get this book. I thought it was just going to be like, torture porn or, BDSM or, kind of a thing. And it kind of was. It wasn't torture porn, but it was some kinks in there that I was not aware of. And it was some stuff that might curl some folks' hair. But it's written by, in fact, the entire creative team is Marco was a male, but it's the writer and the artist are both female. And so it's once again from the female point of view. So it's a different perspective than some of us are used to. This young woman is a sex worker. She is into the whole BDSM thing. She takes the blows for money, which is a dangerous profession. Being a sex worker itself is a dangerous profession. And I think that needs to be talked about, and good for AWA for having the vision to make a series about such a controversial subject. So I think it deserves to be talked about, and it deserves to be highlighted, because so many of us are just unaware of what these folks are going through. These are still human beings, even though they're working the streets and doing this stuff out there for money. So for me, this was worthy of the list, and there you go. It's my number 8.
Good choice. Excellent choice. I love me some AWA upshots. So shout out
Exactly.
to AWA.
AWA. All right. You're up,
Yet
sir.
another book that you already mentioned on your long list of books.
I named some good ones.
And you also mentioned that I enjoy this one as well. So for number 7, I'm coming in with a little book, Lonesome Hunters.
Oh.
This was just a little book I picked up. What was it, Tyler Crook? Yeah, Tyler Crook.
Tyler Crook.
Just a book I picked up on a whim, just hey, I'll try it out, because I've really been trying to cut back on my titles from week to week. But I gave this one a go, and I was really happy that I did. It's a nice, weird little world that he's built up for us to be interested in, and we've got this sort of reluctant, cowardly kind of hero, which I've really been identifying with that, because it's easy to say, hey, when the chips are down, I'm going to be the brave guy who does what needs to be done and steps up, and it's easy to do that in your head and as a sort of thought experiment, but it's a whole nother thing to actually do it. You can't be brave without fear. And this guy is brave with a lot of fear. So I really identify with that in him. And I really been enjoying that story. So I hope that book gets a little more love than it's gotten. But definitely check out Lonesome Hunters from Tyler Crook. It got the Lorenzo approval as well.
Yes, you got the double approval from both of us. So that's excellent, man. That's another great book, man. I've only read the first couple of those, and you're right. That the main guy, the old guy, is just I can so identify with him, because if you're not afraid, then what the fuck is wrong with you? You should be afraid when you're in certain situations. But yet he soldiers forth and does what he has to do. And
There were times when I was young and I thought I was being brave, and you might have seen me doing it and you would thought, but I wasn't being brave because I didn't have fear. I was doing it without fear, and you can't be brave without fear.
Yeah. Yeah. That's which is funny, right? It's how crazy life is, Yeah.
And the older you get, the more fear it creeps into your life.
Yes.
Especially if you have kids, fear consumes me sometimes.
Yes. And I know, man. I know. And hopefully you live long enough to learn to to have fear. Don't be too foolhardy. You don't make it. All right, let's go to number 7.
Oh, I got the approval from Sleepy Reader. Yes, I do like the art.
A beautiful vampire must flee monster slayers in New York City and reclaim the ancestral soil that restores her undead flesh. But the world has changed since she was reborn in the New Mexico desert, and now Constance Durabin and her loyal assistant Dooley must adapt to life in the rough frontier town of Sangre de Moro, where all sorts of monsters have settled.
Yeah, that's right. All the monsters moved out west for some reason. I don't know. Go west, young monster. So west of sundown, I got my James O'Barr hard to find rare copy, one per store. This is a really good series. It's ongoing for now, so it seems. This is what Tim Seeley, I want to say, right? I think it's Tim Seeley who's doing this. Man, this is the vampire lady and her loyal assistant, and man, it's I love when you mix westerns with horror, and it's kind of a weird combo. It's something that you never saw that much, but here it works, especially with the vampire legend too. And it's kind of like if everyone has ever watched Penny Dreadful on Showtime. This is kind of a comparison. I would draw a comparison between that show and this, because it's kind of like a lot of legacy monsters. They're not named per se as Frankenstein and the Wolfman and Dorian Gray, but you get the idea. You got a lot of classic monsters out here in the Old West, and she's just having her run of the town. So far, it's been very good. We've run into another stream problem, so we might crash, but hey. Let's just hang in there. So let's go back to the main screen. Before we crash, what's your number?
Are we still here?
I think we are. Right. Yeah.
Number 6.
Nomina's still there. Is it 6 already? Oh, I guess it is.
Number 6 for me, another book that you already mentioned. I believe it was your number 10, actually. But Jeff Lemire, Little Monsters. I really like this book. I like this world. I like the sort of moral questions that it kind of poses. And I like, imagining myself as, a character and kind of deciding what I would do. And there's some interesting questions that are set up in this book in terms of vampires versus humans and being a child. And being an adult, things of those sorts. I really like that. I really like stories where you can be really old and maybe tell stories from like when Jesus was alive, because you've just been alive that long. And that we have an element of that here with Romy, who's a really interesting character, one of the vampires, but apparently the oldest vampire. There's questions about, the purpose of the people that made these kids vampires and left them where they are. What was their purpose? What was going on? We get some answers here recently towards the end about those people and what happened to them. And maybe Romy knows more than we thought he knew. So lots of cool stuff going on in this book. And I really like it. Highly recommend y'all jump in on this one. Jeff Lemire is one of my favorite writers. So I definitely follow him where he goes. Another one that got the Lorenzo approval. This was what you said, like number 10? Number 10, right?
Yep. It was at number 10.
We got some cool art from Dustin. Is it Dustin Wynn on this one? Yeah, Dustin Wynn. We got some cool art from him. I like this style. It really fits for the story he's telling, I feel like. So number 6 for me, Little Monsters, Jeff Lemire, Dustin Wynn. Check it out, y'all.
Excellent call, sir. Excellent. Yeah, I love that series. It's poignant. It's sad. It's just interesting to look at. The art is great, and you want to.
Willie, you said it. Willie said the kids are starting to divide now.
Yes.
I'd say so. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'd say so.
So this is a whole. You think like, how far can this go? This could go for a while here. This is this could run for a minute, because this stuff is happening. There's characters that have been killed, but they can still keep going. Really, really good series. So, is that number 7 for you? Or number 6?
That was number 6. For number 6 for you now.
It's my number 6. Thank you. I'll learn to count one of these days.
Jessica Harrow is dead, but her journey has only just begun. Discover the world of the afterlife, where Jessica has been recruited as a reaper, tasked with ferrying countless souls to their final destination.
Yep. That old SIKTC wannabe Grim
No,
from the same company. I like it, man. I like it a lot. I think it has
I don't think it's
possibilities.
I don't think it's fair to call it a SAKTC wannabe.
I
I don't
know.
think that's fair.
I'm being glib. It's from the same company. It has a lot of the same dramatic effects, like with the almost like the cinematic kind of a thing with the name of the comic. Like midway through the story, like like SUV or SVU or whatever it was. Like boom boom. Like something is killing the children. Grim. The big thing. This is, I think. This was a FOC cutoff cover, maybe, or one of those fancy covers for number one. There was like a zillion covers for number one. This is one of my favorite ones. This is a what's the guy's name? God, he
Jay
did
Lee.
Jay Lee. Thank you. He did Seven Sons, which did not make the the list, but he is nonetheless a great artist. So
I
Jessica
have a few
Harrell.
of those.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Jessica Harrell is, she's a reaper. We're finding out a lot more about her as time goes on. She is becoming more. She was
Another
kind. You can see
No, I'm
another
sorry,
Erica.
just another woke book.
Oh God, I wouldn't exactly call it that. I mean, this, this. But hey, nothing
Simply
wrong with being
having
woke.
simply having a woman who's a powerful character like that who can kick butt,
Yes,
that's woke
of
in
course,
and of
and
itself.
because that's a horrible thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out about Jessica. I think we're going to develop this character more. I see a good future for Grimm. It didn't sneak up on people the way that SIKTC did, but I think the quality of the book will keep it around. And keep it going. Whether it achieves the same notoriety as that book did or not, it'll be able to stand on its own. So
Hey, what up, Philtastic? Good to see. Check Phil out. He's got a great channel. Check my homie Philtastic out. Good to see you in here, homie.
what's up, Philtastic? Yeah. So let's say you
Truth and
feel
faith. Truth and faith is in on Grimm. I like Grimm. I was
yeah,
kind of hating on it because of the comparisons to something is killing the children. I'm partial to Erica Slaughter, so I didn't
yeah,
appreciate anybody acting like they can compare to Erica, which is absurd.
yes.
But I read it, and I thought it was fun, and I'm interested in what the whole story is and where it's going to go. So I'm in on it. Didn't make my list, but it's cool.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm looking out for it. All right, let me have a
Yeah,
little coffee
it's
myself,
good.
Willie.
We have man, coffee sounds good actually.
I
We got some
know.
different lists though. That's
We
good.
do.
That's
This is
really
great.
good.
And I made sure I didn't look at anyone else's list before I made mine. I don't want to be influenced at all. I want to be completely organic.
Actually, I have been bad about consuming comic book content. I need to work on it. I just haven't had the time. Betting and everything. I just have a lot
Sure.
going
I
on.
know. I know. You got your bookie to support and
Uh,
all that. I get it. Yeah.
so we are into the top five already.
Top
That was
five.
fast.
All right. Number five
Man,
coming up, huh? Woo.
number five
Number five with a
was a
bullet.
book from Rick Remender, is the
Mm-hmm.
writer on this book. And it was a book that I picked up. I think there's a little buzz about it, but I picked it up and read the first few issues, and it was kind of like I could pick it up, I could drop it or not, but for whatever reason, I stuck with it and got to all the way to the end, which is what 12 issues, right? I think, and it's 11 issues maybe, but it was a fun, really fun book that I enjoyed, and that is going to be The Righteous Thirst for Vengeance from Rick Remender and Image
Nice.
Comics. So we have this guy who kind of stumbles upon a crime, and he hits a point where you can decide to involve yourself, or you can decide to go home. Go ahead and just go home and be safe. And I've had moments like that in my life, and when I was younger, I was much more likely to choose to involve myself. But now that I'm older, I'm much more likely to just go home.
Where it's
Just
safe.
go home and raise my kids. Just a real quick, like I was at a store shopping for some comic books, and it was during the pandemic, and these people, this woman came in and was mad about the mask rule, and
Mm. A
and you
Karen?
and at the yeah, and at the time you saw those videos on Twitter and whatnot of people losing their minds, and so for me, it was a sort of just a real amusement, like oh my god, I see this on Twitter all the time, and this is happening in front of me. This is amazing. And so I'm sort of looking at her in amusement and kind of laughing, just excited that this is happening in front of me. And she gets mad at me saying, you know, you think I'm funny? And I was like, yeah,
Do I amuse
actually.
you? Like a clown? Shoot out Joe
That's
Pesci
what
on
she
you?
said, actually. Do I amuse you? And I said, yeah, actually. And though she comes back and she leaves, and then her guess her boyfriend comes in and says somebody was talking to my wife or whatever, and I was like, no, not me, because I was like, you know, I don't want this smoke, dude. I got to get raise my kids. But
Seriously.
then I was like, nah, dude, I do want. But then I changed my mind. I was like, I do want my smoke. I was like, you know, I can't remember what I said to him. But anyway, we get into it, and then he ends up he calls me a punk and just leaves the store, and the old me was still there, and I follow him out, and I'm like, I want to fight this dude so bad, please fight me. And I get out there, and right when I'm walking out there, I'm like, bro, you have kids. What are you talking about? You want to fight this dude? What is wrong with you, idiot? So it hit me
Man,
right at that point. So
dude.
we talked a little more smack to each other, but he left. His girl was like, let's just leave, and it was like I was 95% sure I would have destroyed this dude, but of course, if he pulls out a knife or a gun, the equation changes, you
Exactly.
know. So
You know, every idiot and his brother is well armed out there. So you've got to take that
yeah,
into account, you know. They're talking
absolutely.
shit.
You an easy fight turns into an easy loss real quick,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yep, yep.
But so I was just thinking, you know, point being, there was that moment where I was like, I could choose to I could choose that smoke, or I could choose not that smoke. And the main character in this book chooses that smoke,
Oh,
and is kind of ends up being a hero for it. And some people die that you don't want to die. Some things happen, and in the end, you get really a nice satisfaction ending at the end of the book. So I really thought it was a fun book. If you see the trade, you should grab it. It was a good read, worth
oh
the
yeah,
time.
oh yeah, yeah. Man, that's one that I read the first, I think maybe two issues. Knew it was going to be good, but it was going to stretch out, and I thought, damn, this is one like Good Asian, which is from last year. Would have been on this list too. But Good Asian, I got the the actual collector edition coming from that one. I want to do the same with this book whenever it comes out, because it was after that first issue
Yeah,
was like, whoa, what the hell is happening? It's like leaves you like, oh, what happened here? But you know, it just got lost in the
yeah.
shuffle. But I will finish that book at some point. Thanks for giving that spoiler-free review. That was very good. Thank you, sir. All
Well,
right.
okay. I'm glad you said that, because I was about to respond to Will He Survive with a spoiler, but I will say Will He Survive. There is a certain point where you realize there's a certain thing that's in danger, and yeah, once I hit that point, my heart was literally pumping reading that book too. So yeah,
Uh,
it definitely gets you going, man.
I
Highly
see you.
recommend.
Yeah.
And guys, I am 43 years old. I don't work out ever. I probably couldn't run half a mile. I'm not fighting anybody, guys. Don't worry. I'm not fighting
Yeah, yeah,
anybody.
yeah. Please don't, man. Yeah, it's just not worth it. It's like when I used to have this thing about people like cut you off or like do something like, yeah, just let that motherfucker go, man. Just go ahead on. Now right now he's in my my rear view mirror, and our lives never crossed. Just let it go. It's not worth it. Don't worry. Be happy. All right, number 5.
The 90s were the most extreme age of the superheroes, but times have changed. Gavin Hart, aka Damager, now works as a bouncer in a strip club managed by the Russian mob, hangs out sporadically with his ex Avenger Lady, and wrestles with the long-term effects of his cyber implants. But fate always keeps one last cheap shot up its sleeve for a hero.
Yes, sir, Bob. You know this is going to be on the list, man. You know I talked so much about this book. This 3-issue series and a one-shot that followed. Man, if this doesn't come back I'll be pissed. Man, Victor Santos is just excellent as a creator. He did every single variant cover for this book, including this, like, this image homage here. Man, read this book, folks. I mean, this is from Behemoth and now Sumerian. This is, man, the guy is working he's fallen, it's a hero falling on hard times. He's working as a bouncer in a strip club. He's like a den mother to the girls working there, speaking of strip clubs. And just so much more that he's dealing with these cyber implants. It's like a football player or someone who's just been, or a soldier who's been used and forgotten. His story is excellent, man. This is and Victor Santos' art he's very much channeling, I would say, the best of Frank Miller from the Sin City era with this book. Man, I know I talk a lot about
I
it,
like
but
that cover.
yeah, it's just cool. He did every one of these, man. He did I got like about 7 different covers, and I love every one of them. So yeah, fantastic. It's yeah, yeah. So I would tell anyone who likes indie comics, Until My Knuckles Bleed is a can't miss, and the art of Victor Santos just makes it so much better. He's one of those cartoonists that does everything. So yeah, it's just, and yeah, strip clubs is kind of a theme in this in this show here. But man, Until My Knuckles Bleed, I can't wait to have more from this. This is my number 5 comic. I'm saying this, I can remember what the hell we're on right now, and it's your turn coming up for number 4, my son.
Okay, number 4, excellent choice. Number 4, I'm going to go with another book that you have already mentioned. But it was a fun book. I considered this book to be a love letter to comic books, and I really enjoyed that, because if you look at YouTube, if you look at a food channel, millions of subscribers. If you look at a gaming channel, millions of subscribers. If you look at pretty much any subject at all on YouTube, millions of subscribers. But if you look at comic book content, we're 50,000 tops. It's not. So even the big guys are really small in the grand scheme of things, and that's because we're a really small niche. And I'm just super hyper aware of that, and it makes me protective of that community, and it also makes me sentimental about it. And that's why this book really hit home, because it's really sentimental about the comic book medium as well. And that is going to be Chip Zdarsky's Public Domain. Very
Excellent
much a
choice.
love letter to comic book creators, comic book collectors, and the comic book medium. You have the father of children who is a comic book creator. He's kind of like the Jack Kirby who didn't get all the money that he should have got, maybe, for his creations. But he didn't care about all the money, because he just loved the characters, and he loved the art, and he loved the story, and he loved the comic book medium. And then you have this other character who I guess would be more like the Stan Lee character, who was more of a business-oriented person who's getting the money, who's making the sales, who's getting the licensing deals, making the real money that's being generated from the work of the creator. So,
He was kind of a dick, too.
yeah, very much so. And then you have the children who kind of dick, at least his son's kind of a dick too. But
Yeah.
it just tells a story about these people, about money, about gambling debt, which I'm dealing, not debt, but dealing with gambling. And it just tells a story about that. But the end of the story, the gist of the story, is just really love for comic books. And in the end, they kind of set up their own little comic book shop at the end of the series, and they're allowed to do this because of the love for the medium that his father had. It actually boomerangs and comes back to them, which I really love, the idea of that love going out and coming back to you. So if you love comic books, if you love the comic book medium, and you're just a little bit sentimental about it like I am, then Public Domain is absolutely for you. Check it out, from Chip Zdarsky. Doing the whole shebang, writing and drawing.
Yes, he is, man. Meanwhile, writing 2 of the biggest mainstream books that there are,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Super
yeah.
talented.
Excellent choice.
Love me
Excellent
some
choice. Me too. Me too. What did you miss, Naaman? He had to reboot. Let us know. We'll give it back to you. I
We'll
think
start over.
we'll start. Yep. I'll start with all the runners up from the beginning. Just kidding, y'all. All right, number 4, right? All right, number 4. I'll just keep giving me this thing here.
Are you ready to duel? In the first issue, you meet an FBI agent tasked with investigating the mysterious deep website Duel.global, which pits its growing numbers of subscribers against each other in real life in a race to stop a high schooler who has challenged the site's highest ranked dueler in a match to the death.
Yeah, buddy. This is one of the great sleepers of the year. This is before me and T-Fall broke up. I picked up a couple of these T-Fall exclusives here. So I got one that's coming from them that's supposed to be graded too. I think I missed the cutoff on that one, but I don't care. I got 2 ungraded copies. So Duel, man, if Duel does not come some kind of screen property, I'll eat my hat. This is such a great commentary on this society we live in today. You know, it's so much is online. People are beefing. Everybody's got guns. Okay, let's just duel. Let's meet at Supermarket X. And you bring your gun, I bring mine, and shoot it out. And the FBI is just trying to snuff this thing, but they can't do it. And there's this kid who's very good at it. And he's a recurring character in the story because each issue so far has had different characters. The first issue featured him. Second issue, third, and fourth had different characters, but he made an appearance in all of them. So you think that he's going to be a big part of the story going forward. I think it's a 10-issue limited series by Curtis Martins and McCormick. I forget the first name of the person. This is an excellent series. It only comes out quarterly, so people don't really pay attention to it. Man, if you can find this, the first issue for less than like around $10 or something like that, definitely pick that up. I recommend it. This one I think is still at least about $25 to $50, depending on where you look for it. But man, Duel, just
not easy to find.
Not easy to find at all. And there's another one that's even another variant that's more exclusive. That's even harder to find. So I was lucky to get this one. So yeah, this is an excellent book. I like it a lot, and I look for big things from it. So Duel makes the top of my or near the top of my list as the best comics of 2022.
Phil Tastic's got love for the voiceovers. I just want to say that's the best elevator music I've ever heard.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Yes, I love elevator.
Shout out if you get that reference, what that reference is from.
Oh, my God.
And then the Fabric is in on Duel T-Fall as well. I do also want to throw out a disclaimer that the thoughts given by Lorenzo, the proprietor of this channel, do not reflect the thoughts of me about Things from Another World. I am still married to Things from Another World. We're still very much together and happy.
Good for you.
I just want to make sure that's clear.
Good for you. Good luck with that, as they say in the future.
I like packing peanuts.
Oh, your day is coming, my friend. Your day is coming. They're gonna screw your order up too. So yeah, just a matter of time.
Number three.
I'm
not with this, T-Fall. You know I love you, baby. T-Fall. Or no, not T-Fall. I got T-Fall on my mind. Number 3 was a book whose synopsis was 80s regional wrestling mixed with Macbeth.
Ooh.
I'm not really a Shakespeare sort of fella. I never really understood the Old English. It was always really confusing to me. But that was interesting. I'm not really into wrestling now, but I do love the behind-the-scenes stories of wrestling, like what's really going on, who's really arguing with who. You know, you have the front story that they have, but what's the real story? Who really hates each other? Who's really on? You know, who really is friends with their heels and good guys? You know, stuff like that. But anyway, so all that I was interested in. And we have Crimson Cage from AWA Upshot. We've got John Lees on the writing, Alex Cormatt on the art, which I thought the art worked really well. But you have this guy, I can't remember his name, but you have this regional wrestler who's the big guy on the regional circuit. But he and more so his wife, have aspirations of bigger things. And he's being pressured from his wife to, hit the big time, hit the WWE style, and he ends up going out drinking with his buddy and makes this deal with this swamp monster. Um, with heads up, don't make deals with swamp monsters. It's not a good idea. But he
What could
makes
go
one.
wrong?
Yeah, he makes a deal with the swamp monster that promises that he'll end up with the world championship belt. But of course, there's a catch, and if you know Macbeth, you kind of understand the catch to it. But I really loved the art from Alex Cormack in this book, and I thought it really fit the story that John Lees was telling in this. I loved it so much. I did a whole review on it on my channel, actually, trying to be like my dad Lorenzo and use the voiceovers. But I thought it was a fun book, 5 issues long, so just a quick little read from AWA Upshot. And if you're into Macbeth, or if you're not into Macbeth but you're into kind of wrestling, I highly recommend this. You jump in on this one. Definitely my number 3 book of the year. Everybody read it. Shout out
Fantastic.
to AWA and T4.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that wasn't a wrestling book I was thinking of, but that's a very good series.
Were you thinking of Hell?
Powerbomb?
Were you thinking of Hell in His? Oh no, I'm scared of Fabric.
I know.
I don't want that smoke from Fabric.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I just didn't give Powerbomb a proper reading. I'm going to definitely get the trade of that as well.
I liked Powerbomb. I love Daniel Warren Johnson.
Me too.
I didn't like it as much as everyone else liked it, although I would say that.
Yeah. If T4 is listening, hey, I hope they get their shipping department. I would gladly buy more stuff from them if their shipping department got their stuff together, because they have a lot of options. You can pre-order stuff, and they give you a slight discount if you pre-order. But just you just watch my unboxing videos, you know about my problems I had with their shipping. But
best website in the game.
Best website. Oh, that website though, man! I tell you, I love that website. All right, so that was number 3, right? All right.
Number 3.
Number 3, as the old DJs used to say.
Shot in 1936, Night of the Ghoul by writer-director T.F. Merritt was meant to sit beside Frankenstein and Dracula as an instant classic, but the legendary film never made it to the silver screen. Just before editing was finished, a mysterious studio fire destroyed the footage and killed the cast and crew celebrating at the rap party.
Fabric is just totally trolling Trev.
Yeah, we're laughing at the same thing.
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. Oh, my God. Y'all have fun. That's awesome. So, Night of the Ghoul. Man, this technically came out in 2021 under Comixology, but it was a 6-issue series in. That didn't count. So, but they did the right thing and put it in a 3-issue condensed series, which made a lot more sense. There's a lot less weight between issues. And it read like a really good horror movie. And it wasn't gory and nasty to a bad degree, but just well written like horror movies used to be. This is about this movie that's been lost to time. This director meant to make this classic. A lot was made of it, but something happened in the rap party, and everybody died, and the movie was just put away forever. And as this guy lays dying in this rest home, this other cat who was interested in the movie brings his son to talk to the director to find out what happened to the lone remaining print of this film. Man, this is Scott Snyder, I think, at his best, and same with Francavilla with the artwork. Yes, sir, man. Francavilla goodness all day,
Yeah,
Sleepy.
Damien's got love for it.
Yeah. This book is, I tell you, get all 3 of them. Read them back to back. If it's not like a horror movie, man, I would be surprised. To me, this is just such an excellent story. This could easily be a movie. And then the way it ends, I won't say anything about that, but you may not have seen the end of the Ghoul. But this series here, man, is just long enough. The dialogue is great. The art is fantastic. I just can't say enough about this book, man. This came out recently. It's in this on the Dark Horse form. I had to put it in right away. I knew this is going near the top. This is. I was really. I don't want to build it up too much because then you say, "What was he talking about?" But I think most folks who like horror and are not who really don't want the gory kind of stuff, I think they would enjoy this book and highly recommend it. Night of the Ghoul, folks. They're out there. Lots of shops on shelves, lots of copies on shelves at shops right now. So find them and check it out.
Nice. I like it. I like Scott Snyder and I like Frank Gavilla.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is the Snyder doing Nocterra too?
He is. Yeah.
So yeah.
He did We Have Demons, which did not make my list, but I did.
Yes, I know, man. That man. I forgot to even mention that in the runners up. All right, so we're down to
you didn't. You missed.
I know.
You missed
I went through with a fine-tooth comb and still missed stuff. Man, that sucks. All right.
Okay, man. The top two. We're already there.
Already there. Best actor and best picture.
Number two was another book that I love so much. I did a review video on it, trying to be like my comic book dad. And this one is based in World War II. So you have the Allies and the Axis, you have Germans and Nazis, and then you also have an ancient vampire, which I thought was a really interesting setup, which is why I jumped in on it. And I was quite pleased with what I found without from AWA Upshot. So you start this book with some POWs who have been captured by the Germans being sent to this camp. And at the same time that they're being sent to this camp, there's also a coffin that the Germans have dug up, which happens to be an ancient vampire. And the Germans plan to use this ancient vampire to turn the tide of the war because the Germans are clearly losing and they know it. And so that's how it starts. And you have this young member, this young Native American soldier as one of the prisoners. And he starts off, you see how he's separate from the rest of the group because he's Native American, but how he's still a good person and he tries to help everyone. And he's an interesting main character that I really enjoyed. And then the setup with World War II was really cool. I really liked the art from Will Conrad in this book. I thought it was really perfect. Gave that dark, foreboding feeling that you want to get in a German/vampire book. So I highly, highly recommend that you check out from AWA Upshots. It was definitely my number 2 favorite book that I read last year, and you should definitely check it out. And Trev, you should check out Crimson Cage. If you like that wrestling book, Powerbomb, I think you'd like this one too.
Yeah. We got shots fired in the chat here. Yes, and Out. Yeah, that was an excellent call. I don't know how I missed Out. I think it was 2022, but maybe I missed it.
That was this year.
That was excellent. That was. I didn't have much. I mean, I got the first issue, and I kind of didn't expect much from it. Then I was surprised at how good it became once they focused more on the native guy and his relationship with the monster and everything. It got very interesting. So yeah, very good recommendation, sir. All right.
Thank you. I liked it. Number 2, drum roll.
Number 2.
Welcome to the scariest place on earth. Devilland has been the world's premier horror-themed amusement park for over 50 years, home to the scariest ride ever created, the Devil's Due. But when lifelong fan Owen Seasons begins his first day on the job, he'll discover the true horrors happening behind the scenes, the truth about the park's reclusive creator, Arthur Dante, and the job of his dreams just might be a living nightmare.
You got it. Oh, God. I don't know if you heard me talk about this book lately, but man, oh man, I effing love it. everything from the concept of this amusement park run by this guy who's very Walt Disney like, and he really has made a bad Faustian deal to become successful. Man, and the artwork by Andre Bresson is the artist on here. It's just exquisite. I love it. I mean, it's the paper is quality, not like that trash Marvel sometimes prints books on, and it's only a $3.99 book. It's such a great series, and the first arc is coming to an end. You have a chance to jump on now if you want to find the issue. I think the issues are still out there. They may be a little hard to find, but they haven't shot up in value yet because this is still kind of a sleeper. This is absolutely a book I think that could be some kind of a film property, because there's the park itself, the amusement park itself, is a character. It's something that they have a full breakdown of the park in the back matter of the book, and it shows all the possibilities, all the rides, all these creepy mascots that walk around. Man, oh man, Dark Ride is it just came out a few months ago, but already it's the best of last year, and we'll see how it does next year too. Because man, this is such a great concept. It's got to keep going. Dark Ride is my number 2, and there you have it, folks. I can't say enough about this book either. This is
I'm gonna finally read that one this weekend. It's bumping up on the list. I'm gonna
yeah. And once that number 4 comes out, you might want to just binge them all, just to get the full impact. But it keeps you interested, and the art is just beautiful. Kind of reminds you of the Stray Dogs, Tony Fleeks, and that kind of a style. What's the other woman that did the covers for Stray Dogs? Trish Forstner. Thank you. Yeah, it's
Forstner. Yeah.
Forstner. Yes. So, yeah, Dark Ride, hit it for greatness.
You hear a lot of good things about that book. That book does have some buzz. Think it could be optioned?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it'll make a great cable series. Like 8 episode seasons on some major cable channel for sure. Because it costs a lot to produce, but a lot of the park could be done probably CGI, so you don't have to like build an actual park. But there's so many characters in there. There's the evil Walt Disney, or Walt Disney himself wasn't all that good of a guy if you research him, but you know what I'm saying. It's like it was a lot of development that can be done with those characters that they've introduced, and as well as the park itself. And the story is excellent, man. I don't think you'd be sorry.
No, I don't. I know I'm gonna like it actually. I bought that one initially because my shop owner gave it high recommendations. So he usually nails it for me. So looking forward to that one. Great choice. A lot of buzz around that one. All right. Now, if you look in the chat, you'll see that Trev, the shipping guru, thinks that he knows who my number 1 pick is. The reason why he thinks that he knows is because you gosh darn right that's my number 1 pick.
Is that your number 1?
Something is Killing the Children is my number 1 book of the year. All things Book of Slaughter, House of Slaughter, Something is Killing the Children. All of the stuff from this world is my number 1. I am a sucker for all of it. I stand Erica Slaughter hard as fuck, and I will continue to do so. I love the whole world. I know not everybody's been filling the new arc after 15. It started after 15 for 5 issues. We went backwards and we learned a little bit more about the past. And then in 20, we came back to the present with the Erica Slaughter, and I've really enjoyed the story. We've got a dynamic of Erica going up and matching up against the House of Slaughter. We have Cutter coming from the House of Cutter, who is hunting her, and we've got this big matchup coming between Erica and Cutter, which I'm super interested in. In addition to the new characters that have kind of been introduced, we have the new character in Book of Slaughter, who is kind of replacing, not kind of, who's actually replacing Erica Slaughter as a Black Mask in the House of Slaughter. Oh, I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but and we have the new character who kind of mirrors the beginnings of Erica Slaughter's beginning. I can't remember her name, but the new character in the new arc who was attacked as a young girl survived the attack, kind of the same way that Erica has, and it kind of seems like she's building up as a new, maybe a young new Erica. But I love all of the stuff that Werther and Tynan are doing with this. I'm really excited with whatever they're going to do with it on the screen. I think it's Netflix, I'm not sure, but really excited to see some casting news, some movement on that end. There's a reason why it is the hottest book in comic book. I think it is. Actually, I don't know that for a fact. But if it's not the hottest book, it's one of the hottest books. I'm the kind of guy that will not like something because it's popular. If there's any reason for me not to, I'm hipsterish that way, but I can't be that way about something's children. I can't be that way at all. I have shared this book with non-comic book people, and I am 100% in terms of getting them to read it and getting them to like it. So even if you don't like comic books, it's something that you can get into. And so I'll stop now. It's my number one. Nobody's surprised. It'll be my number one next year, very likely. I am a super stand for this shit.
Well, I can't argue with that. It is a great choice, and that unopened slipcase edition looks beautiful. I got one of those too.
Doesn't it, though?
It does look good. Yeah.
I actually have one that's open too, but it's loaned out. I've loaned it to my friend Santino. I'm trying to get another person.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not loaning that slipcase out to anybody. I loaned a trade out to somebody and never got it back. So I'm not getting that one. I'm not loaning that one out. You get your own. But yes, Erica Slaughter, man, how can you go wrong with her, man? Oh, so man. So the sun never sets on the British Empire, but it's like it's getting darker in here. I think my light's running out here. But so we're down to number one. Number one. And I want to mention also that, yes, Sleepy Dark Ride, I think, is ongoing. They mentioned that the number 4 is going to be the end of the first story arc, not the end of the series. So I think it is ongoing. I hope it is. I look forward to it. So, without further ado, here it is.
If you had one wish, what would you wish for? Now what if everyone else had one wish too? At exactly the same moment, everyone on Earth gets a genie in one wish, and all hell breaks loose in a very entertaining way. And that's just the beginning. Buckle in for the wildest ride of the year.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if some of y'all already guessed this, because there's one of the few ones left that I did not mention. Man, I was looking at the app the other day that we all use, and almost every book, without all new books, have like gone down in value. Every single one of them, down.
Now's the time to buy.
Yes, yeah. But this one, not so much. This one actually has gone up in value. That aside, this is a pretty brilliant story. This is, like it says, imagine if every Yahoo out there and their brother had a wish to have whatever they wanted, all hell would break loose. And for them to come up with that concept, man, it's just genius. In issue number 6, and the world's in such a state from that happening, and the way that they protect the people in the beginning, I won't spoil it for folks who haven't read it, that was also genius. The little bar in Michigan. So, man, this series has already been optioned. It's a brilliant idea. So you can get this, you can find this book. I can't find them anywhere. I can't, even second, third printings are going up. Everything associated with 8 billion genies is valuable right now. And not only that, even if you don't give a shit about how much a comic book is worth, this is a good read. If you just like stuff that's not just about, people in tights knocking each other out, which is fine sometimes, but it's nice to think about stuff like, damn, that would be crazy if that happened, So, and the characters are developing, people are changing, people are making sacrifices. Some of the beloved characters are dying in this book. It's the 8-issue series, and the 8th issue is like 8 centuries after the first genie. So I think I might know where it's going with that. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to. If I'm right, I don't want to spoil it. I hope I'm surprised. But man, 8 billion genies, man, this is this Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, who also did Curse Words, is another good series. This is just a masterpiece of comic goodness here, and man, I can't say enough about this book either. I mean, obviously, I think it's number one. It was without.
It's a fine choice.
Yes, I mean, and I knew this was the other book. I knew, okay, it was about 5 books. That's okay. These books are going to be in the top 10. I don't give a shit what else. And then the rest of the top 10 was filled in with everyone else. Why there was so few spots available. I already had 5 strong players on the field. I couldn't on the floor. I couldn't squeeze anybody else. Everybody else was a bench player. From my lame sports analogy I come up with here. But yeah,
I love to see books like 8 Billion Genie. I love to see hype for a book and people to get excited about one, and for one to maybe, just maybe, have the capability of punching into the mainstream. It gets me excited. I love to see it.
Yeah, I love to see your drawings too, Truth and Faith. Yeah, I'm always looking out for artists.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. So man,
I'm working on getting some commissions from Lorenzo, y'all. I don't know if y'all are interested in getting some commissions. If you are interested in getting a Lorenzo commission, you should hit him up. But I definitely at least want to get a Twig commission from you. I think your style is perfect for Twig, and I want a Twig cover from you for sure. Man, that'd be dope.
Yeah, you got it, son. And I'll be working on some more stuff too.
Can we open commissions? Can we open the commissions to the chat here? Anybody interested in a blank cover? Shoot them up.
Hey,
send them some Venmo or PayPal. We can set something up.
I've been thinking about doing that for a long time, and I was working on that Twig with a video I did like a couple of months ago, even.
Yeah,
so,
check that Twig video is what made me decide. Like, you know what? Let me get one of those. Let me get a blank cover to them. So yeah, definitely check that Twig video out. That's not on this channel though. That's on a different channel.
Yeah, it's on my indie. What's it called? It's called Alternative City Stories. My drawing channel. It's a link down. There'll be a link down below when I finish this video, because I didn't have time. I was making the event in haste 2 seconds before airtime, so I didn't get a chance to put all the proper links down there below. So yeah, man. We ran out a little long, but the Academy Awards usually runs long too. So they didn't sing us off the stage or play us off the stage.
We did. We did just fine. We still got 11 viewers here. Shout out to all the homies in the chat. Good to see y'all as always. We had 80s Guy. We had Sleepy Reader. We had Trev. We had Truth and Faith. We had Fabric in the chat starting shit. So I love to see that. Always a good time.
Always a
Who
good
am
time.
I missing in here? I know I'm missing some.
You got
Willie
Trev,
survived,
you got
of course,
Naman, you got
Miss
Willie. Yeah.
Shannon.
Yes.
Rude was in here earlier. Always good to see the homie Rude.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, but I love seeing y'all, man. I love doing this. We will see y'all again Wednesday.
Yes. This was a fantastic Saturday night. Hope it didn't keep y'all too long away from whatever you're doing on Saturday. And
there's Janet with the drawing channel. If you like that Twig cover, which I did, if you liked it like I do, hit Lorenzo up. Set yourself up with a sketch, man. I'm sure he'd love to hook you up. I know I'm working on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get some more drawing done. Man, I gotta find more time for that. But all this video production kind of cuts into a feller's time, But I'm gonna make time for drawing. I love drawing.
Hit him up, y'all. Let's encourage him. He needs to get to drawing more. Let's encourage him to do that.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. As Surcam mentioned before, we're gonna be doing a stream by candlelight pretty soon, like in the old days. Losing power, Captain. Hey, love you too, Truth. Thanks for stopping by, everybody, and we'll see you guys Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. Take it easy.
Love this community. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. To Yale.
Bedtime for me too, man.
Absolutely.